CCP did this to Alibaba again. It never ends, does it? Rumors has it again that Alibaba is currently weighing different options for its stakes in the social media company called Weibo, which is essentially like China's version of Twitter, and is currently in talks with the state-owned firm for a potential deal. And where did Bloomberg get their source from again? Of course, it's according to people familiar with the matter. Who else? Lol. I've spent a good 10 minutes talking about this level of reporting standards. I don't wish to belabor the point. You can go check this video out about Bloomberg's solid informant. At this point, I think people are just too tired from the heaps of different rumors and speculations coming out from China where the sources all cannot be verified or identified. So people have come to realize that, hey, since you can't fact check, let's just presume that everything that you report is the truth and nothing but the truth. Since it's not hard to conceive this idea and this thought that CCP has already done things that are far worse than this. You know what's worse than China's tech crackdown? You not smashing the like button, of course. So what are you waiting for? I can't proceed. So in order to understand this obsession over the media assets, we have to date all the way back in September this year. See how time flies. We are already at the end of December. But before I forget, I hope that you guys prepare yourself and brace for a greater 2022 ahead. Back in September, Alibaba was intending to sell its entire stake, around 5%, in a local television network called Mango Excellent Media. I'm quite sure some of you are actually aware of this investment. So this actually comes after the growing concern about Alibaba's influence over public opinion in China, or at least that's what they want the public to know. So the implicit understanding here is that Beijing is extremely concerned about big capital's control over media, as they would also have leveraged their control for essentially illegitimate interests or manipulation of public opinions. So shortly after the news about divesting from Mango Media, there were immediately speculations surrounding Alibaba also shedding the South China Morning Post as well. Surprise, surprise! Those speculations on selling SCMP was also reported by Bloomberg. On that same note, Zhou Cai, who was the SCMP's chairman, said in a letter to the SCMP staffs that there were no plans for a change in ownership. I don't know, man. I think you'll be a better judge on the veracity of such claims coming out from a repeated offender. Either their informant just suck, or they're really just milking the attention and eyeballs they get from consistently producing content related to Alibaba. So I think just like Monesh Pabrai very well put this concept across, in order for some things to be believable, there will always be kernel of truths that blows up like popcorn when the right conditions are met. So is it really that hard to conceive a world where CCP strong arms all the different companies? Not really. I think just based on the facts, today, if there were rumors saying that CCP forces Alibaba to break themselves up and the cloud computing arm will essentially be subsumed under the government, I think investors will not even be surprised, even if there was no source to verify such a claim. So this is the current environment we are operating in. Funny, isn't it? So back to this Weibo rumor, since CCP can force Alibaba to sell Mango, selling another one won't really matter, right? So apparently, the discussion between Alibaba and Shanghai Media Group could lead to SMG, which is Shanghai Media Group for short, purchasing all of Alibaba's roughly 30% stake in Weibo. So Bloomberg's fail-safe mechanism lies in just one line, and I quote, "Deliberations are at an early stage and there's no certainty they will result in a transaction," unquote. Damn, that's a really good insurance policy, bro. Low premiums, high effectiveness. 2 thumbs up to you. Even if this was fake news, they could very well just wiggle their way out of this with just one line when nothing happens. But if the transaction do take place, they will come in, bam, I told you so, win-win, sir. I see what you did there, Bloomberg. Very well played. Anyway, to go back to the root cause on why China even bothers cracking down the media industry, I think it really comes down to just one word, and that one word is insecurity. I think when running a country like China, they are also unsure if the normal layman has the ability to discern between real and fake news. Let's not talk about China. I myself am unsure if US citizens have that ability. Of course, we always operate on a spectrum, and you can observe on either ends of the spectrum, it might not be the best solution. A complete media freedom will lead to nonsense reporting standards with a bunch of confused citizens. But at least, there is no monopoly and nobody really controls the narrative. On the flip side, if the media is totally controlled by the government, they will be able to shape the narrative however they like. And it might be right or it might be wrong. Problem is, it's really hard to achieve an optimal balance because I personally don't know if any country has cracked this code already. To make things worse, when private capital or private corporations come into the picture, who knows to what extent will they be able to shape public perceptions. So Weibo is actually among the most influential and controversial of Alibaba's entire media asset holdings. The social media site actually scrubbed posts and took down the comments relating to a scandal involving an Alibaba partner last year, fueling concerns among officials about how censorship could be employed by all these different private enterprises or even private individuals. Let's also not forget, this is not a problem that only plagues China. So Bill Gates himself has also been a generous donor and he has shown that he has given $319 million to media outlets to promote his global agenda. Of course, people can say that, how can you hate on Bill Gates? He's doing the world a big favor. I can assure you, as much as I like Bill as well, he has his fair share of hate around the globe. That said though, objectively, I think Bill did bring about many positive changes to the world in his capacity as an individual and also subsequently through the company that he founded. However, I think the main point of contention here that I wish to bring up is really the role of media and how, regardless of individuals, institutions or even governments, by and large, have vested interest in this industry, and in the US, they just happen to monetize it. While in China, it remains largely under the government's purview. Good or bad? Up to you to decide. I think it's also a timely reminder for people interested in investing in Tencent. Want to hazard a guess which social media platform has an omnipresent status in China that is literally present in every single smartphone? All these discussions surrounding Alibaba shedding their assets here and there, some are minority stake, some might be controlling, but it's all a portion out of the said company. More importantly, their core business is left untouched. By untouched, I mean not selling a particular stake in their cloud computing or in their e-commerce pie, which contributes to a huge proportion of their cash flow, profit, and income. Nobody likes to talk about that. All eyes are focused on the next steps, on how CCP wants to shut Alibaba down. Flip side, WeChat is a very integral part to Tencent. People can argue that, hey, they're aligned with the CCP, they're very obedient, etc. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, they're aligned until they're not, right? You be my own judge, my friend. This Weibo speculation really has no merits if you look at it at face value. Unless there is some form of official announcement from either companies, these are just purely hypothetical discussion that any Tom, Dick and Harry can have. So it's still good training though. Continue inundating us with news please. If you stop, it will form the impression that you are slacking off. I'm waiting to be corrected because I know anything is possible, especially in this environment. But I want to hear it from Alibaba or Weibo, and not just people familiar with the matter. That's the lousiest source anyone can have. With that, I'll see you in the next video, but more importantly, I'll see you on the moon. Goodbye!